Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be doing our August 2025 production update. First off, let's talk about the AltMill 2x4 and the 4x4. Probably the biggest news of this month, something that's really exciting, is that the parts that we're waiting for the AltMill have come in on schedule. If you watched our production update from last month, we were telling people that there's a chance that we would have to start shipping in August because it's very common for shipments to be delayed. With the grace of the universe, the parts actually showed up on time. And it's kind of funny the way that we talk about parts coming early, because when something comes on time, then it's early for us. Because the parts showed up on time, we started shipping the AltMills back again July 11th, which is like 2-3 weeks earlier than what we were expecting. Over the last 3 weeks, we've been shipping on average about 100 machines a week, so we've been blasting through that queue pretty quickly. Right now, we've dropped our lead times to 5 to 7 weeks. We're estimating that the rest of the queue will ship out by the end of August, and that means that our lead times are going to continue to shrink over the next month. We have seen demand increase, especially as we've decreased the lead time, and I don't think the news has really come out yet. Gonna have to see if sales go up a lot because the lead times go down and what that relationship is. We are starting to get into our busy season, which is from basically August to March, I would say. Crossing our fingers that production will continue to go smoothly. We have also started production for batch 6, and we are expecting parts for that to arrive in October, which coincides with roughly when we expect batch 5 to be complete. The goal is that we don't have any lag time between when we run out of batch 5 and when we start batch 6. If you are planning to order a machine and you want to get in on the shortest lead time possible, I think the best time will likely be keeping track of our lead times in August. I think we'll have production kind of more up to speed by the end of October as well. Otherwise, there is a lot of housekeeping that we still have to tackle. We have the resources that we need to put out for the maintenance, and also offering more of the replacements part for the AltMill. We've seen a lot of people ask for those things. Obviously, the resource team and the customer service team have been helping out people individually, but now that we have a lot of AltMill users, it's probably a good time for us to focus on those things. So expect to see those type of things come out in the next couple months. Yeah, lastly, a little cool thing. We have obviously been printing dust shoes for a long time. Mike set up some automation on the print farm. We just switched over to a bunch of new printers so that we can increase the print speed and also the quality. John, one of our engineers, has also been working on the injection molded version. So once that's complete, we expect that the new dust shoes to be a little bit more robust and also take less time for us to do the assembly. Next piece of news, I think one of the big things people are excited about is the AltMill 4x8. We have continued to work on this project for quite a long time now, and we have just built the version 1 machine. Basically, the AltMill 4x8 is basically like a larger variant of the 4x4. And so we basically took a lot of the spare parts from the AltMill 4x4 and we kind of like Frankensteined it into the 4x8. And what this is supposed to do is kind of like test the longevity of certain components, as well as give more context on the size and what sort of things people would do with this sort of machine. Based on Ben's estimate, we'll have the machine fully up and running by the end of this week, and we're gonna start doing some test projects and kind of play around with it. So if you have any ideas on things you wanna see done on the 4x8 machine, please feel free to let us know. Ben is planning to have some more update videos come out in the next a few months as well, so keep an eye out for that. The other thing that's happening right now is that we are getting the fully production parts produced for our version 2 prototype. I guess just to explain, for the 4x8 machine, the x-axis on the 4x4 will be the same as the 4x8, like for the most part, and then the y-axis, because they're longer, is going to change. The rails are going to be different, and also we're going to be using y-axis rack and pinion hardware, so we need to make the different set of parts for those areas. We're probably going to build about 3 beta test units so that we can do some of the like larger scale testing. That's expected to kind of finish out around the end of September. In other news, besides the engineering, we are working on trying to figure out how big we want our batches to be. We've gotten a lot of interest. Thank you everyone for filling out the survey if you guys saw that. Right now we're juggling the production for the AltMill 4x4 and a 2x4, and we are like slowly running out of space. I mean, I feel like we've kind of run out of space, but now we just kind of like jamming more in. We have also started doing a lot of off-site warehousing as well, and a local warehouse here. So kind of like figuring out the production in the space is going to be in its own challenge. And yeah, it's kind of funny because Ben was talking about how crazy it was to build the first 50 AltMills, and so we're expecting the same level of chaos for the 4x8. And obviously, I think it's taken us, now that we're at like the lead times are getting shorter and we're kind of on the right track to get that down. Now it's been almost a little more than a year, I guess, since our launch. It took us about a year, maybe a little bit more than that, to actually get these things ironed out. So now that we have more experience on that end, now we're trying to plan out how we want to approach building the larger and more complicated machine. Let's talk about the auto spin. That's the router that has the control line. It's kind of like the router and spindle hybrid. We had some issues working with the supplier. To be more specific, right now we were going through the certification process for the router, and essentially they were able to certify the router itself, but not the signal line. We had specified that that part needed to be certified, but the manufacturer didn't, and so it's kind of a matter of like, is this like a big oversight that is also, I guess, foreshadowing issues with working with this particular manufacturer in the future? Or is this just like a just typical miscommunication? The supplier and us were trying to work out some of the details in how we're going to move forward with this, because one, it kind of throws our timeline for the production out of sync, and also trying to understand what sort of liability or what sort of issues we're going to face. Right now, the project has been put on pause. We want to either work out something with that particular manufacturer or work with someone else. I expect there to be a bit of back and forth to work those details out, and so based on that, we were planning to release the auto spin this summer, and it's likely that we'll have that on pause for the next little bit until this can get resolved. Now that the AltMill has become a pretty popular machine, we've also started working on getting more AltMill specific bits. Obviously, they're not specific for the AltMill only. We have larger spindles and larger collets, which means that we can use larger tools. We're working on the manufacturing and the design for the new tooling, and we're expecting the launches to happen in the next 2 months, I would say. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We also have some new spindles and VFD variations also in production now. We have the 220 volt 1.5 kilowatt spindle with the ER20 collet, and we also have a new variant, the 110 volt 1.5 kilowatt spindle with an ER20 collet. So right now we only have the 110 volt ER16 spindle. We're going to offer the ER20 version for people who want to use the ER20 version. I should note that the ER20 version is bigger and heavier than the ER16 version, which means that we don't really recommend the spindle on a long mill just because of like the weight constraints, but the ER20 is even bigger, so we also kind of discourage the long mill users. So these are more focused on the alt mill side. Last month we also talked about the closed loop stepper kit. We got a lot of interested people, which we're pretty excited about. I think we had about 400 respondents, and about 3/4 of those people were like, yes, we want the closed loop stepper kit. So yeah, I think that kit is viable, and we kind of have, I guess it's like a good business area to focus on. There are a couple things that will determine how the launch of those type of kits are going to happen. One is the fact that we need a lot of documentation and testing for different versions of the kit to happen. So of those 400-ish respondents, a lot of people have Onefinities or X-Cars or Shapeokos, and they basically want to integrate the newer and more powerful technology into their machines. But we also recognize that there needs to be at least some level of support so that people are successful in that conversion. We also need to buy more inventory on top of all the inventory that we're already buying, which is its own crazy challenge. We just wrapped up batch 5 and now we're in batch 6. The good thing is that a lot of the parts are shared between all these different machines. Right now we're working on getting more of the replacement parts out. So it's not something that's too difficult to do, but it requires some planning. And we're trying to like balance out how much money we're spending on the inventory so that we don't have to sit on too much stuff. And also kind of predict how the sales are going to look for all these different components. And lastly, and probably the biggest thing, is that we have so many projects on the go. We have the ATC and the AltMill 4x8, which are probably the largest projects right now. Our kind of like engineering resources are spread a little bit thin. And I think adding this new project is going to add a lot of stress to the engineering team, and also it's going to affect timelines for other stuff. There isn't any like specific timeline on this kit yet, but it is something that we recognize is something that people want. So it'll be something that we'll work on when we get the time. We have been hiring more engineers and more people to the company to help support all this new development. We are working on this, I guess, on a general standpoint. I think Nathan posted something where you can apply for the new position. So if you want to work for the company, make sure to check out the post there. Okay, automatic tool changer. So this is a really big project at Spin. One of the main things that the team has been working on has been kind of the workflow process of the ATC. This is sort of new in our industry because there's not a lot of ATC options right now, and all the ATCs work slightly differently. And so what our goal is to figure out what is the easiest and most logical and most intuitive way for people to use the ATC. It's kind of an exercise in user experience. So yeah, if you want to see some of the process diagrams, we have some of them on the blog post. Mechanical design and the electronics design have pretty much been finalized now. We've designed a new manifold and like packaging of the spindle and the ATC pneumatics components so that they're more compact and easier to assemble and install onto machines. A lot of the work that's left over now is primarily with the tool rack system, as well as the software integration of everything. So the software team is also working on a new version of Gerbil HAL, which utilizes some of the new development in Gerbil HAL for the auto tool change, as well as integrating the more advanced features that we need for this type of system. No specific timelines on a launch yet, but development has been going at a breakneck speed, and we've been doing a lot of projects on it, so expect to see some content and videos showing off some of the things there as well. The last thing we're going to talk about is the G-Control panel computer. If you guys don't know, this is a computer that we launched back in like November 2024, and has been pretty popular, more popular than I was kind of expecting, to be honest. As of today, we've shipped over 1,000 G-Control panel computers. And yeah, so that's been super awesome. Gilberto's been doing a fantastic job with the support and the updates and building the new versions of the software for the computer. We just posted a new video on like how to update the RAM and things like that. So if you want to check it out on the YouTube. I believe there's something going out to the 1000th customer. It's kind of like the 2000s banner ads, like, hey, you're the 1000th customer for the G-Control panel computer. But yeah, I believe marketing is going to send something special out to them. So yeah, congratulations to whoever got the 1000th G-Control panel computer. We are in the process of doing another batch, probably about between 500 to 900 more G-Control panel computers, just so we can get prepped for the busy season. Keep an eye out for new stuff in G-Control world. We have more information on the blog, so if you'd like to check that out, make sure to go to our website. August is also going to be a really busy time. We got the 4x8 in construction. We're going to be finalizing details for the ATC. We'll be going gangbusters on shipping the AltMill 2x4s and 4x4s. Yeah, stay tuned for our next update next month. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.